Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cardiac, the spookiest channel on this side of the internet. And welcome to the official Not Scary Farm 2024 list of events. The reveal event has already happened, so I'm just going to go through everything that got announced to my best abilities, and also discuss the things that have been announced that are new for this season, so I'm very excited. Before we do that, I want to cover a little bit about Haunt Vlog, just a tiny bit. Now, once this video comes out, I'm already going to start looking at my timeline as to the types of videos that I want to release prior to the actual Haunt season starting, and what I want to see throughout the weeks of Scary Farm, just because there's going to be a lot of stuff that I want to cover. And last year, I'm not going to lie, we were not in the right mental place to be able to continue doing the Haunt Vlogs, and for that, I apologize. So with that being said, I'm going to try to flesh out a more cleaner approach to Scary Farm and how I, as a haunt monster and even as an actor, because if you didn't know, your boy is now Actors Equity. Oopsie, someone unionized and I got a card out of it. So I want to talk a little bit more as an actor exactly what my process is in terms of creating characters, as well as some other things that I could definitely consider. One of them I think will be scaring for a camera when it comes to media and press, because believe it or not, there are cameras like fucking everywhere. So I want to be able to set you all up for success into those things and how to make that possible. So with that being said, let's get into Not Scary Farm 2024. Okay, so let's start with the returning scare zones. So, of course, Ghost Town, Carnival, The Gauntlet, Gore and 20's Forsaken Lake. What I'm very excited for is to see if the team has actually taken the lantern concept. That was a really fantastic idea, and unfortunately kind of fell by the wayside just a little bit, to see if they upgraded it enough to make the experience worthwhile in buying a lantern. That's just me. Those are my thoughts, and I'm gonna go from there. So there's that. So I'm kind of curious to see what they do with that, and hopefully we get some cool things within each of the scare zones to make the experience even better than what they have been in previous years, especially with the Gauntlet, considering that Gauntlet is a returning theme that has a new storyline. So I'm curious to see what they can do to kind of jump on the backs of last year's. So I'm curious to see where that goes. Now, let's talk about the returning mazes. And to do this, I am going to do this in order from the oldest to the more recent. So here we go. We've got Waxworks, which at Midsummer Scream, they announced that it was going to be leaving after this season. Waxworks, Origins, Mesmer, Grimoire, Bloodlines, Chilling Chambers, Room 13, Cinema Slasher. I am hoping that is all that I can think of. Yes, because the last two would have been The Depths and Dark Entities, which last year was their last season, which means there's 2 new mazes coming, or 3, who knows? We'll get to that in a second. So starting off with Waxworks, am I sad that it's going away? Absolutely. I am very sad that it's going away, but I do think it was a fun concept, and I to my understanding, they did change a little bit of it. I have not seen it in person, which is a little sad because they changed it last year. So that means I now need to go back in it and see it before it goes. And then continuing on, because the other mazes aren't like cool. I heard Bloodlines got rid of their blasters last year. That's a whole nother topic. Prediction wise, I don't see that thing lasting like a whole nother season. Maybe next year and then that's it. Or they just surprise us and go, surprise, Bloodlines is leaving. Huh. Now, to get to last year's new mazes, out of all 3 of them, my ranking is Cinema, Chilling, Room 13. Now, the reason why is because out of all 3 of them, Cinema Slasher was, I think, I'm a little biased. Cinema Slasher was the one that had a fresh concept to it, but it also allowed to revisit some of the older haunts that we had done, like Camp Gonna Get You, the Trick or Treat, and Slaughterhouse, and kind of like twist them in a unique way that would fit like a horror movie. If you think about it, it is like Trick or Treat was like a 70s slasher movie, thinking like Friday the 13th. I was gonna say Jason, but it's the same thing. Halloween, like those types of those types of movies. And then Camp Gonna Get You was going to focus on more of the like sleepaway camp. Friday the 13th. Wait a minute. You get where I'm going with this. And then the Slaughterhouse was more of the more torture porn, new era type of horror movies, which was a great idea. And so I think out of all of them, I think because Chilling Chambers was a tribute maze, naturally they were just going to build things that had already existed. It wasn't anything new. So that's my thoughts. Room 13, I only saw through videos because my day off was used to run a Disney haunt, and I didn't get to really go see the haunt. I have arranged it to where I am going to be able to have a day off to actually go through Scary Farm, go see it, and to also run my Disney haunt. We're gonna leave it at that. And Room 13, I just think lacked. It needed more, and I think it just needed more. I needed to see, a lot of the rooms just felt almost bare, kind of, that it needed some more prop work and more graphics and stuff like that. And there was, if I remember correctly, in the announcement for last year, they had said that there was like a killer that was invading this hotel, and he was the reason behind the Devil's Elixir. I don't know. So hopefully I can go in it this year with fresh eyes and actually see it physically to understand if my thoughts and feelings were correct. I'm hoping that going actually through it can change my mind. Room 13 sucks. Now, before I get into the new mazes, let's talk a little bit about the shows that are coming back. So The Hanging, obviously, because why not? The Hanging just needed to come back. It was like, it's a mainstay. It shouldn't have gone away. I'm just saying. And then we've got the Carnival. I forget the rest of that one. It's the circus one that's on the Calico stage. I'm sorry. No shade to anybody who has been in the show. My bad. Then we're also getting Conjurers coming back, which is a very interesting thought, mainly because I've never seen Conjurers. Even when I was at Origins and I could hear them the whole time, never saw it. I have no idea. So I think I need to just bite the bullet and go see the goddamn show. That's just me. So I think I'm gonna go do that, and we'll go from there. But now, it is the moment we're all waiting for. Let's get into the new mazes. There are 2 open warehouses that are backstage that are currently unoccupied. Well, I mean, they're being built in right now, so that comment just does not make sense. But there are 2 new mazes. So the first maze is called 8 Fingers 9, the Boogeyman. Step inside a living fairy tale in a colonial township that's under siege by an inhuman monster that preys from the dark. As night descends, 8 Fingers 9 emerges from the shadows in search of fresh meat. His vicious bite penetrates deep, causing sleep paralysis, which holds his victims in sway while he slowly consumes their flesh. Step lively and beware of the dark, or you may be the main course at his next meal.
8 Fingers 9 is a magical being that is imbued with the power of the forest. He can see through trees, through walls. Nothing is safe from him. His victims enter sleep paralysis. The idea that you went to sleep and everything was fine, and now you're awake and someone is slowly chewing at you, finger by finger, inch by inch, just gnawing at your flesh. I think that's a little disturbing. You will find yourself face to face with him, and it might not go well for you.
And that will be taking the place of dark entities. And then we have the Widows, taking over for the Depths. Can you hear that? The spider-possessed residents of the convalescent home are preparing a special place for you. Enter their web and succumb to their dark desires.
An attraction this year, I'm looking forward to it. It's called Widows. Demonic spiders have burrowed through the underground to take over the withered bodies of the residents of this convalescent home. There's only going to be one natural grandmother there, but all the rest are really spiders in grandma's skin. They're going to move like spiders. They're going to act like spiders. It just gets more and more depraved as we go along. We took a lot of great detail in the painting and the propping of the house.
One of my very favorite things to do is to take something really nice looking and making it look like it's completely run down, grungy, dirty. With my team, we were able to, at first, make everything look perfect, immaculate, clean. And then the fun part came along where we had to come in and just make it look like it was old, like it's been sitting there for years and years and years. As you enter the house, you will notice that all of the walls are completely falling apart. And to me, that really sets the tone for what you're going to be encountering throughout the rest of the maze.
There's going to be spider webbing everywhere. I've gone through several times and they said, is this enough spider webbing? I said, no, double. It's one of the reasons why I created this maze. Walking around my neighborhood, I kept on going into spider webs, which is really gross. I definitely want to capture that feeling of walking through spider webs. You'll have that several points in the maze. I have very weird things in the maze too. There's one scene where a pregnant man who's giving birth to a bunch of egg sacs and all the spiders are crawling out from his belly. So, pretty disturbing.
Now, the Widows is going to be a very interesting concept, mainly because of the fact that it has a lot to do with spiders, and because it's the one closest to the main gates, or not main gates, but you could see it from the outside. It should have given it away that the weather vane in the shape of a spider had spiders involved in it. Just a thought, and that is what is going to be coming to Scary Farm for this season. Now, saved the best for last. The question that is on everybody's mind. Where is Forrest going to go? Y'all, I am so glad you asked. Drumroll please. Your boy is going to be going to the Widows! Yes! Okay, I'm very excited about it. Throughout the time, you'll kind of get to know who I'm playing. The one thing I will say, it is a woman. It's the first time I've really played a woman, and I'm very excited. Something a little bit more different for me, something to try, something to really test my skills as an actor and as like a creature performer. So I'm very excited for that. And I'm excited, just as excited as you are, to see exactly what everything has to offer. So let me know in the comments down below, what are some of the things that you are excited for this year's Not Scary Farm? I love to hear your thoughts. I love to see what you've got. And another question I have for you is, because I'm making all of these different videos and trying to do different themes for each of the weeks during Scary Farm, what are some themes that you want to hear about, or what are some topics that you want me to cover specifically for Scary Farm, or even as a performer, and kind of go from there. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hopefully we'll get a good idea as to how to make this season even better. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, I cannot wait for the haunt season. Let's get the ball rolling. And with that being said, my name is Forrest, and I'll see you in the shadows.